and I've said this a million times, and I'm gonna keep saying it until you grasp it. You're an arrogant f***. No one cares about you. None of you watching this, no one cares. Maybe your brother, your sister, your mom, your cat, and your girlfriend, maybe if you have a girlfriend, and maybe she doesn't even care about you. Nobody really cares about you, dude. Nobody. If you go out and you post just nonsense, no one cares. Like the idea that you're gonna screw up, no one cares, dude. No one. We as men, we mostly live in a world that is a meritocracy, but the world in general is not one, especially when it comes to success. It is not what you know, it is who you know, but more importantly, it is not who you know, but it is who knows you. That is the reason why you can't wait to start the network. That is the reason why you can't wait to build a brand. You have to do this today. You have to start today. Let me say it again. One of the biggest networking tools, I would not have Casey Zander's number in my phone. I would not have Bilzerian's number in my phone. I would not have all these guys' numbers in my phone if it wasn't for the fact that I was a networker who built a brand. That's the reason why these guys, I'm friends with them. There's no way I would know. Adam Sosnick's one of the coolest people I've ever met. Justin Walter's one of the coolest people I've ever met. Brad Lee's one of the coolest people I've ever met. I would not have their number in my phone had I not built a brand, started a podcast, and network that way. So there's no real course that teaches you this, except one. Spoiler alert, we'll get to that later. There's only one course that actually teaches you how to do all these things, how to teach you to go to these social situations and get it, because nobody's gonna teach you to get it. Now, what's going on, guys? It's Michael Sartain here, and sitting here walking in Los Angeles. I'm leaving Runyon Canyon, headed back into Hollywood. And one of the things, one of my team, they were asking me about, they were like, hey man, you should make a video about this one concept, because this is an objection we hear a lot of, like a limiting belief we hear a lot, and that is, I specialize, Men of Action, we specialize in teaching people how to create elite networks. So elite networks for building a brand, for helping you with your business, but most importantly, the thing most of the guys come to me for is elite networks that help you meet unbelievable women that you can date. And one of the things I get often is, hey Michael, there's nothing special about me, so for me to network would kind of be a waste of time. Wouldn't it be more important if I just grinded? Like if I just sat there and learned copywriting, I learned how to build a website, all I did was do that, and I didn't worry about your networking stuff. Because I'm just gonna get incredible at my job, and then because the world is a meritocracy, remember we talked about that video about fake status and real status and how status is just perceived, because the world is a meritocracy, everyone will just know I have super high status, so that when I start networking, I'm just gonna crush it. And there is a little bit of truth to that, but the problem is this. I made a previous video about this, about how there are some people who are, more famous than you. They're more popular than you. They just do better than you. They're younger kids. You see these streamers who make hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, and you're sitting there toiling your 9-to-5 job, and it makes you feel bad about yourself. We talked about this, but there's a part about this that I think you're missing, and that is a lot of these people, like just consider like the James Franco, Jonah Hill, Seth Rogen, like that group of guys. Part of the reason why they're famous is because they all knew each other. It wasn't about no offense to Seth Rogen, but I don't really think he's that great of an actor. But the reason why he's famous is because of the people that he had connected with on the way up. You'll see that a lot of times with people who get really, really phenomenal podcasts, is they were able to connect with big influencers very early on in the program. And because they were able to do that, then they were able to grow their podcast like inordinately quickly. Now, how did they do that? They did that through their network. I'm here to tell you, I want to disabuse you, this is one of my favorite words, disabuse. I want to disabuse you of this notion that the world is a meritocracy. We as men, we mostly live in a world that is a meritocracy, but the world in general is not one, especially when it comes to success. It is not what you know, it is who you know, but more importantly, it is not who you know, but it is who knows you, okay? It's really important that you guys understand that. When you grasp this, I have never in my life, ever in my life, been more employable, had more offers for jobs ever in my life than when I started my own company and I started my own YouTube channel. Never. It's one of these things where my network exceeded the meritocracy, meaning my network exceeded my skill. Let me say this one more time, because it's really hard for some of you guys to grasp. Some of you out there are like, no, Michael, I'm just gonna grind. I'm gonna stay on my grind. You know what is really powerful? Being an incredible copywriter. You wanna know what's even more powerful? Being an incredible copywriter who knows everyone in the business who can get you a ton of work. You know what's even more powerful than that? Being an incredible copywriter who knows everyone in the business who can get you work, and you know copywriters who are better than you, who can teach you. Guys, remember one of the main things I say on my channel is for you to find mentors. Having an incredible network allows you to find these mentors. I am so incredibly fortunate that if I have a problem, I can just call Adam Sosnick or Brad Lee and ask them a question on how to solve this problem. I can just call Dan Fleischman if I have a problem. If I have a serious problem, like I want a piece of advice, I could message Jason Strauss and have a conversation with him on like how to fix this problem. I'm incredibly lucky in the fact that I'm able to do that through my network. Remember, I could just sit there and grind. You guys remember what the original point of this video was, hey Michael, I want to stay on my grind and I'm not going to worry about building a network right now. So there's another reason why networking is so incredibly important. If you guys are selling something, you're selling anything, one of the best piece of advice I've ever learned about as far as growing a company, this kind of came from Alex Hormozi. I've heard several other people say it, but Hormozi, he said it very concisely. It's like, when you build a brand, your cost per acquisition of leads drops to zero. Not quite zero, obviously it does cost you some time and money to make content, but just I want you to consider, all of you right now who are spending money on ads, and you're making money on ads, consider if you were to be able to build a brand that got you all those same leads that you got from paying for ads, you got them for free. Your CPM, your cost per lead just drops basically down to zero. It's so incredibly important. Now consider this. You want to be a copywriter. You want to sell an Amazon FBA course. You want to sell a crypto course, whatever it is. Now just consider you already had a brand out there with some level of brand trust. And even if people did not discover you through your brand, they discovered you through your paid marketing, then they came back to your Instagram, they came back to your socials, they came back to your YouTube, and they saw that other people were commenting. Maybe there were testimonials showing that you are good at what you do, you had a lot of efficacy. Consider how much easier it is going to be for you to sell that product because you did a little bit of networking. When we talk about networking, we also mean building a brand. Building a brand is networking. For me, one of the biggest networking tools I've ever developed is my podcast. Let me say it again. One of the biggest networking tools, I would not have Casey Zander's number in my phone. I would not have Bilzerian's number in my phone. I would not have all these guys' numbers in my phone if it wasn't for the fact that I was a networker who built a brand. That's the reason why these guys, I'm friends with them. There's no way I would know. Adam Sosnick is one of the coolest people I've ever met. Justin Walter is one of the coolest people I've ever met. Brad Lee's one of the coolest people I've ever met. I would not have their number in my phone had I not built a brand, started a podcast, and networked that way. So building a brand is a function of networking. So is social media. Social media is a function of networking, right? So when you say, I would rather, Michael, I'm gonna hold off on the networking part, and right now I'm just gonna work on whatever skill set I have. I do recommend you work on the skill set. I do recommend you do that. But at the same time, just think about how many levels you can skip if you're actually personally friends with experts in marketing, like say a Ty Lopez, or if you know Grant Cardone, or if you know Cole Gordon, or if you know Jeremy Miner, or if you know Taylor Welsh. Consider how many steps you can skip by actually having events or a podcast that they want to come on, that they want to join and learn from you, right? It's a really incredible thing. A lot of people, like we're looking for affiliates right now for our company, and it's one of these really cool things because my brand, affiliates have actually, instead of me having to go out and hunt affiliates, I went to this awesome event the other day, this cool networking event. There's tons of super successful people there, and the affiliate guys heard about me and came up and found me. They did a bunch of research on my company and found me because I had built a network. Several problems that I had were already being solved before I even got to them. Guys, I'm telling you, having someone in your life, hey man, I've got this problem, trying to do mergers and acquisitions, and you have a network of people that can tell you, this is the best M&A lawyer I've ever, this guy's the Harvey Specter of M&A lawyers, and I can set you up with him right now. Consider, it was like, I'm having a problem, I'm pretty wealthy, I'm doing well financially, but women keep using me for money. Well, that's crazy, because Michael Sartain has a program literally where he teaches you how to not be a financial target from women trying to use you just for money. Like, consider having a network of people who can put you in the right direction to help you solve problems super easy. Remember guys, you don't live in a bubble. All of you have issues, whether it's paying your taxes, hiring good people, you're a solopreneur and everybody that works for you is on a 1099, it doesn't matter. You're still gonna have these issues. You're gonna have these issues with your fitness, with your networking, with your happiness, with your money, with the women you date. You're still going to have issues. with the guys for any of the ladies watching, for any of the guys you date. It's like, oh man, I don't know what to do here. It's like, well, that's funny. Michael has a show called Access Vegas where he actually talks to a bunch of women and helps them understand one of the reasons why you're having problems with guys is because you keep listening to their words and not paying attention to their actions. That's why you're having this trouble. Oh, yeah, let me set you up here. No, here's Michael's podcast here. Subscribe to this. That's all you have to do. So having this network allows you to be able, it's so incredibly important on your way up, this network of people that can help you. You guys have seen some of these podcasts that just pop up out of nowhere, and they're all shooting in like super, super beautiful 4K with incredible lighting, and they have this incredible, what's it called? They have an incredible studio already set up from like day one. You think they did that on accident? No, they knew the right people. That's what happened. It's like my friends, one of my best friends, TJ Sparks, and she runs the Inside OnlyFans podcast, and they've got this beautiful studio that they film everything in. Do you think she built that studio because she was on her grind? No, it's because of people that she knew. You know, like I got my podcast when I was at Sticky Paws. For the first like 100 episodes, they were letting me do that for free because they were trying to build up their notoriety in Las Vegas. Do you think that they did that because they had no fucking idea who I was? No, it was from my network. It was from the network that I got. Man, I get invited to so many incredible places. Every year I go to EDC, I take like 15, 20 girls with me. Every year for my birthday, I have like 50 girls come with me to my birthday. Every like marketing event, every time there's like some kind of marketing event, the first thing I do is I hit up the manager and I send them videos of me speaking, and I'm like, hey man, if you like me to speak, I'll come speak for free. And often they'll just tell me yes, and my network grows even more. How incredible, what an unbelievable advantage that would be for all of you guys. Whereas instead of going to the 10X conference, you got asked to speak at the 10X conference. Could you imagine how much that would change your business and your life? That is the reason why you can't wait to start the network. That is the reason why you can't wait to build a brand. You have to do this today. You have to start today. Now, here's the funny thing. When you look at the things that I'm describing to you right now, hey man, I want to build a brand, maybe start a podcast, I want to become really good at networking. How do I meet people in real life, find commonalities, break rapport, be the connector, the suggester, the content creator, just figure out ways in order to network with really high status people. You're like, Michael, well, I want to do this, but it's really funny because you look everywhere. There's no real course that teaches you this, except one. Spoiler alert, we'll get to that later. There's only one course that actually teaches you how to do all these things, how to teach you to go to these social situations and get it, because nobody's going to teach you to get it. Now, you guys see what I'm talking about before. If the world isn't a meritocracy and it's all about who you know, and more importantly, who knows you, if it's all about who knows you and you understand these concepts and that the world is not a meritocracy, well, consider what that means. That means in reality, you don't have any other chance but to be great at networking. Some of you guys right now, you're so good at your job. You know that you're a killer salesperson and you want to be a closer for a better company. Some of you guys right now are incredible in the gym. You've got the best workouts. You see all this bad fitness advice or bad dating advice or bad e-com advice, and you know it's out there and you have the right advice, but for some reason no one's listening to you. And I'm telling you why they're not listening to you. They're not listening to you because your network fucking sucks, because you haven't put any work into it. That's the reason why, because you came to this realization, you started believing that the world was a meritocracy, and if you were just better at writing better sales copy, then everyone will just figure out that you're a special snowflake, and everyone would figure out you're the one. Oh, we were wrong all along, John. You were the one we should have been listening to all this time. That's not how it works, dude. No one's ever, let me tell you something, man. I'm not trying to be a hater, but I watch people sometimes who make content, especially when it comes to intersexual dynamics or dating, and they have no idea what they're talking about. None. Now, I think especially when it comes to anything like Social Circle, if you guys are talking about Social Circle and I'm not the first source that you come to, I'm sorry, you are misguided, right? Well, I listen to people and they start talking about Social Circle stuff and they clearly don't know what they're talking about. They don't understand the concepts in pre-selection. And these guys have channels and these channels blow up and it's depressing. But the reality of the situation is they made they made a brand that was more ethical and easier to digest than my brand was. Because my brand, we talk a lot about, here we go, welcome to Los Angeles. This is Los Angeles. Anybody, you guys, LA, it's Yasmin Bleeth and it's Pamela Anderson walking around with their big boobies bouncing up and down, and there's these beautiful blonde women that come up to you, and it's just, this is Los Angeles. This is Los Angeles. People, I want you to understand, the people who have run this state have run it into the fucking dirt. It is not a mistake. Look at the growth rate for LA versus Texas. People are moving to Texas in droves. This is Los Angeles. This is what's happened. These people right here that are behind me that are living in this could be getting the help they needed, but they're not, because instead what's happened is the city has coddled them and encouraged them, their vagrancy, instead of actually finding a solution through housing. They have no idea what they're doing. That is Los Angeles. It's not the big, beautiful blonde. It's not a place to get discovered. It's not a place to go off and just become rich and famous. It's all it is, if you guys want to learn what Los Angeles is, read the book Atlas Shrugged and then skip to the end. That's what Los Angeles has become, okay? Sorry to get off on a sidetrack. It's just, the LA is, well, I'm here 12 times a year, and it's one of the most disappointing cities I've ever been to in my entire life. This could be the most amazing city in the world, and instead, it's just full of just progressive, liberal, woke nonsense. All right, so it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. And one of the things that's happened that I've noticed is that so many advantages that have been conferred upon me in my entire life is because I didn't even deserve them. It was just like a buddy of mine who just wanted to be nice to me. Like, it's through mere exposure. We've been friends for a while, and he's like, hey, Michael, let me help you out with this, this, and this. And so I try to pay back the favor. Not only am I lucky in that my network grants me access to a bunch of different things, I try to do the same thing for other people. For any of you guys who don't know, like, West Washington going on Fresh and Fit, I helped set that up. When Blazarian went on PBD, I set that up. There was several of them where I try to connect people together. I'm trying to connect, I was recently trying to connect Casey Zander and Justin Waller together. Like, I'm always trying to connect people together. Most of my guy friends, they meet their girlfriends through me. So if you're if you are fortunate enough to be one of my guy friends, you are gonna meet a ton of girls through me. I was gonna tell you some names, but I don't want to snitch on anybody. If you are fortunate enough to be one of my guy friends, I am the greatest wingman in the world. You are going to meet a ton of women through just being a friend of mine. And so because of that, my network continues to grow. It's really incredible. It's really incredible, all the things. And by the way, I don't deserve any of this. I get to punch so high above my weight simply because of the fact that I'm able to build a network that allows me to find, or again, when there's a piece missing in my business, I can just reach out to my network and then find a way to fix the area. Whether it's like, we need help with financing, we want to buy some property in the company, we want to find some tax write-offs, we want to hire new closers, we want to hire new setters, we want to hire another copywriter, we want someone who can edit videos because of my network. You guys, you understand, like, for a while I was using Pearl Davis's, I was using her editor for my videos. Like, these people just reach out to me in 2 seconds. I want to write a book. I have so many friends. Again, like, Rollo Tomasi can help me with writing a book. Like, I can just reach out to people. Also, Dan Bilzerian. Like, I can reach out to people and they can help me with writing a book. So when you realize these things, when you realize these concepts, you say, well, look at how many levels I can skip forward by just having an unbelievable network. So to answer the original question, no. You should not just be sitting there on your grind, not working on your network at the same time. Let me tell you something, guys. Do not ever wear nice shoes in Los Angeles. Ever. Ever. The shit that is on the ground right now that I am walking through is hideous. I am about to get hit by a car. I just know it. Guys, one last thing I want to do. So I wanted to walk east on Sunset when I made this video, so you can actually see the sun setting behind me. I'm on Sunset Boulevard right now. And you can kind of see it. It's winter time, so the sun's not directly behind us. But I just want you to see the smog and the traffic. Bro, look at that beautiful floor. Look at that. Oh man, isn't that great? Is that what the curbs look like in your city? Isn't it great? There aren't even pigeons. There's pigeon poop on the ground. There aren't even pigeons here. I'm just waiting for the afternoon traffic shooting, the hit and run traffic shooting that's gonna have the road rage that we're gonna have here in a couple of minutes. Yeah, another thing, do not wear a Rolex, any kind of nice watch out here in Hollywood either. Because once someone steals your Rolex and you go beat their ass to try to get it back, the police are gonna arrest you for violating their civil rights. Because they have a right to rob from you, according to the laws here in Los Angeles. Yeah, make sure they're not homeless, for goodness sake. If a homeless person robs you and you try to beat their ass to get your stuff back, you're definitely going to jail. You know how the pedestrian has the right of way? Homeless people have the right of way here in LA. All right, so now continuing forward. And by the way, I don't want to make people think that I'm not sensitive to the plight of the unhomed or the homeless here, the indigent here in Los Angeles. There is a solution. It's just not the solution that they're using here. Their solution is to pander to this idea through wokeness instead of actually finding ways for there to be reform and economic opportunity for these people so that they aren't homeless anymore. Instead of figuring out ways for them to not be homeless and to help alleviate their suffering, what Los Angeles has done is try to say, no, the rest of the city, you need to become more comfortable with their homelessness. That's what they've done. So that's the problem we got here. I'm sorry, I don't mean to keep going off onto this, but part of the reason why I do these videos is because I keep getting to these debates about which is better, Las Vegas or Los Angeles, and I'm like, this is not a debate. Las Vegas is 100 times better than Los Angeles. All right, so now, as we continue forward, the network we have. So tonight I'm going to be hosting a charity event for the Midnight Mission. We'll be collecting a ton of toys for the Midnight Mission, and we're going to be it's going to be an amazing night. There's going to be probably 400 models that are going to show up, and they're going to help us raise money for this. We do also one, it's Babes in Toyland. We also do one for animal rescue for troops overseas. We do one for domestic abuse. And then we're also doing one a week from now. So today's December 5th. On December 12th, we're doing another one for another toy drive in the KLUC toy drive in Las Vegas, Nevada. And the thing about this is because I do this, here's another thing that happens. Let's just say there's a huge influencer and you're involved with some of these charity events and some of these networking events. Let's just say, like for instance, I'm going to be speaking at the Ty Lopez event on the 7th of December. Let's say that you go to that event. And now look at what I can do because I have this access. Look at all the networkers, copywriters, all the people I want to get on my podcast that I can message and say, hey, I'm speaking at the Ty Lopez event. Would you like to come as my guest? Think about all the people when I host this charity event with like 400 or 500 incredible models that are coming to this thing. And I say, hey man, we're doing this charity event. We're doing a toy drive. Would you like to come to this toy drive as my guest? And now I can reach out and network with some of these people who normally would not have noticed me. It's been an unbelievable way for me to network. And by the way, let me tell you something else. When you ask them to come with you and they can't come, it doesn't make any difference. Don't worry if they can't come, because now you have an open thread and you have goodwill between the two of you because you offered them some level of value. It's an unbelievable cheat code that I found is I invite people to things, and even when they can't come to the things that I invite them to, they still say thank you, and now there's goodwill between us. That's another function of networking. So networking, brand building, social media, all these things, they allow you to scale your business, to scale your ability to make money, to scale your likeness, and also because they create so much mere exposure and show so much social proof, now, like I said before, you get clients, you get leads, and your cost per lead drops down to almost zero. Right? It becomes way less expensive than like using paid ads or trying to pay your way into building a brand. So I can't express this enough. You guys are watching this, probably 2025 when you're watching this. When you're doing so, you have to make a decision. You're supposed to make those New Year's resolutions. So ask yourself the question, are you going to take the time, are you going to go out of your way right now to go ahead and start building a brand? Or are you going to procrastinate? Are you going to listen to that inner in the back of your head that says, no, I'm going to do this next year. No, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait till I'm like Alex Hormozi and I have $100 million exit of my company. And once I have $100 million, then I'm going to start building my network. That's what I'm going to do. Is that what you're going to do? Are you going to continue to make excuses because you don't want to put yourself out there? Guys, here's the other thing. This is a completely different situation, but I talk about this all the time. When you're trying to build your network, a lot of times I get the question, Michael, what if I screw up and say the wrong thing to the wrong person? This happens a lot because a lot of you guys, again, you worship at the altar of worthless people and their worthless opinions. I'm here to tell you this, man, and I don't mean to be a Debbie Downer, but I've said this a million times, and I'm gonna keep saying it until you grasp it. You're an arrogant No one cares about you. None of you watching this, no one cares. Maybe your brother, your sister, your mom, your cat, and your girlfriend, maybe if you have a girlfriend, and maybe she doesn't even care about you. Nobody really cares about you, dude. Nobody. If you go out and you post just nonsense, no one cares. Like the idea that you're gonna screw up, no one cares, dude. No one. You'd be so, oh my God, what if someone says something mean about me? Yeah, look at this beautiful city, bro. It's so beautiful. God, I love LA. No, Ty, you're right. LA's way better than Las Vegas. Look at this. Look at this beautiful park here. It's incredible. Just the amount of trash on the floor. It's like you pay these exorbitant 13% state income taxes for what? For this? This is what you live in? This is supposed to be one of the wealthiest cities in the world. What is this crap? I'm just gonna hold the camera up like this so you can watch the garbage on the streets here on Sunset Boulevard while you sit there and tell me that I'm wrong about Las Vegas. All right, so now, saying what I'm saying before, you're able to fill in so many gaps in your life because you have this amazing network and this incredible network of people that are able to help you grow in so many amazing ways, as opposed to just thinking that the world is a meritocracy. And remember, no one cares about you. Listen to me now. No one this morning woke up and said, hey man, I hope you make a lot of money today. I hope you get laid. I hope you're super successful. No one really cares about you being successful. Nobody. I said, bro, again, I've asked people to do this for me. Find the one Netflix documentary about the guy who makes a bunch of money, hooks up with hot chicks, and at the end of the documentary, he makes more money and he hooks up with more hot chicks. Find me any documentary about that. I'll find you the documentary about the guy who makes a bunch of money and hooks up with hot chicks and then goes to jail. I'll show you that documentary. The guy who makes a bunch of money, hooks up with hot chicks, and then goes bankrupt. I'll find you that documentary. The guys who makes a bunch of money and hooks up with hot chicks and then he's embroiled in some kind of scandal. I'll show you that one. That one I can show you. But show me the documentary where the successful guy becomes more successful at the end. I'd love to see that documentary. Let me know where you can find that one. I got news for you. Spoiler alert, you can't. Nobody's pulling for you. Nobody's pulling for you to make more money. No one's pulling for you to be more successful. The only person who's pulling for you to do that is me. I'm the only one pulling for you to do that. And more importantly than me, it's you. All right, guys, listen, I just want to let you know, here we go. We got some sunset on the Sunset Boulevard. I just want to let you know, man, when you feel that feeling of FOMO, like the world is going on, everyone's doing better than you, making more money than you, everyone's more successful than you, I want you to know that this channel is where I want you to come, because we're going to transmute that energy and turn it into something positive. We're going to transmute that energy and take it as motivation and even anger. We're going to take it with us into the gym, into our professional lives, into our work lives, into building our brand, into doing more work, into getting over procrastination, into getting over approach anxiety, whatever it is, so that we stop listening to our inner and that we start taking action. If you ever have that feeling where, hey man, I just feel like I'm just gonna take it easy today, I don't need to start my network, I don't need to do that stuff that Michael's talking about. Oh, one last thing before we go on. The reason why what I teach in this course is so incredibly effective, and the reason why we quadruple in size almost every year in Men of Action, the main reason why that is because these ideas that I'm telling you about, they're based in evolutionary psychology, meaning these are ubiquitous amongst Homo sapiens. It's not a situation where like, this just works for North American white males. This is something that men have been going throughout history. Remember, Homo sapiens are the apex predator on the planet, but that one Homo sapien is not the apex predator on the planet, meaning like, Homo sapiens human beings becomes the apex predator on the planet when they can kill the lion, the tiger, the bear, and the elephant, and the rhinoceros. But it's not one human that does that. It's a group of humans working together. Working together. People working together. Teamwork, leadership, networking. You are your most powerful when you network with other people, because it's an evolutionary adaptation. And that your ability to do that is ubiquitous amongst all human beings. The apex of human existence, like I've said before, is men accomplishing goals with other men and having a family. I think that's the apex of human existence. So knowing that, you understand why the things that I'm teaching you about, hey, it's not who you know, but it's who knows you. Knowing what I'm saying, now you understand the evolutionary reasons. The 3 million years of hominid evolution and the 200,000 years of Homo sapien evolution. Now you understand why it's so important that you come together with other people and network with them, because that is what the species that you belong to has done to become so incredibly pervasive and powerful. And there's no exceptions to it. Hey guys, thank you guys for checking out this video. If you want to become part of a group of men, like-minded men who come together, and you want to be able to kill that African elephant, you want to be able to kill the rhino, you want to kill that bear, you want to go hunt the game and collect the meat with a bunch of brave men who sit there, give each other feedback, hold each other accountable. I will not lie, cheat, or steal, nor will I tolerate anyone amongst us who does. Integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all we do. If you want to be a part of a group of men like that, go to school.com and look up Men of Action Forum. Look up Men of Action Forum. $5 a month. You guys get a ton of free videos. There's several free courses that we have in there. And also, in addition, you get hundreds of testimonials, Instagram testimonials, and I'm gonna start doing a free call in there, a 3-hour call that I'm gonna do where we do Q&A. So make sure you guys go to school.com and look up Men of Action Forum, and I will see you guys in the next video.